Hi, this is Zero, and this is What If Deku Had Wonder Woman's Powers, Part 2. Well, after a while, Izuku was talking to, Momo and Shoto, and he kind of liked them, both of them, and the feeling is quite mutual. Momo and Shoto are, more than friends. Both of them are, friends with benefits, and both of them kind of have a, crush on Izuku because all three of them clicked with each other pretty well. Then the other class comes in, they wait for a while, then, Katsuki comes in, he glares at, Izuku because he knows he didn't go first, so he must have. And he kind of, also felt the shockwave that Izuku created. So yeah, he's kind of, thinking what is his quirk evolved or something. So yeah, then Ida comes. Ida pretty much, goes towards Izuku and, says, I didn't, you're a better student than me. I didn't knew, about the rescue points. Izuku says, if you are only here to be a hero, to do famous, not to, save people. Because if I'm not sure, hero's job is to, save people as well. If you can't even figure that out naturally, you don't, have any business being here. And Ida is kind of shocked at, the blunt and, coldness Izuku has. Because remember one thing, Wonder Woman has no problem, you know, killing her, uh, you know, enemies. That's the reason why she has, less villains than Batman. I'm pretty sure she said that in some comic. I don't remember which one, sadly. And so, hmm, Ida just, sat down at his bench, and then he, saw Katsuki put his feet on the floor, on the bench. Sorry, not on the floor, on the bench. He went to, Katsuki to create some trouble. Then Oroka came. As soon as Oroka saw, Izuku, she ran towards Izuku and says, "Thank you for saving me." Blah blah blah. Izuku says, okay." He just says, "Okay," because then he says, "I don't need thank you at all." Oroka says, "Okay," because Oroka is kind of blushing because Izuku is now over 6 feet. He's muscular and he's beautiful, hot, no homo. And so that happens. Uh, Izuku pretty much, starts looking uh, at front because uh, at the corner of his eye, Izuku saw something move behind the desk, and a caterpillar thing, popped up, and it was Aizawa. Aizawa told everyone to, sit down and other stuff. And then Aizawa starts, talking with the class that we will be having a quirk assessment test. Uh, and so Izuku just stands up and starts to walk out while others were saying why, but we have, the assembly and stuff. Izuku left, Momo and Shoto left because they kind of followed Izuku. Because they can see Izuku is kind of a good person at heart and he's quite strong, so yeah, why not we follow him? And so yeah. Um Aizawa says you should be like, those three. Uh, and so other kids also followed. While Izuku is in the locker room, he removes his shirt, and every single guy is looking at Izuku because Izuku's chiseled. I mean, huge muscles. He's not buff, but he's muscular, pure lean, but muscular. And so, yeah. Uh, uh, but his Bakugo is also quite a lot more muscular in this one because Bakugo didn't just train his quirk much harder. He trained his physical body. He even learned how to actually fight. He took martial art classes and kickboxing, just those two. Izuku is a fighting genius because he still does not have Wonder Woman's memory, but he does have the muscle memory of Wonder Woman, and Wonder Woman, I'm pretty sure Wonder Woman knew every single fighting style because Batman says she was a much better fighter than he was, and that's a praise from getting from someone who has mastered every single fighting style on Earth. Batman did actually master every single fighting style on Earth. And so Wonder Woman was even better than, Batman. And so yeah, Izuku pretty much, Koroshima comes to Izuku and asks about it. Izuku says, "Oh, it's because of my quirk." Koroshima just leaves it at that because he kind of can see Izuku is not that kind of, person who talks a lot. So yeah, then they go all out, go outside. Every single girl is staring at Izuku because, as I said, he's muscular and he's hot. No homo. And so Aizawa throws the ball at, Izuku and says, "Throw it with all your might." Izuku nods. Uh, Izuku pretty much, powers, one for all up by concentrating to pretty much 70%. Because one for all 70%, and on top of that added, strength power he gets from being a, demigod. He pretty much, throws the ball and into the space directly into the damn space. Aizawa is shocked. Aizawa's eyes are widened. Aizawa just thinks, "Damn, this kid is strong." Uh, and so that happens. Everyone is shocked. Uruka is as well because Uruka thought she's gonna get infinity, but nope. Uh, Short term is Izuku got, the first in everything. So yeah, then all of them go to the class. Now the a week has passed. Izuku is keeping up, with his physical training to make his body even more powerful. Get used to the quirk more often. Now Izuku can use, 55% naturally, without concentrating at all. And his, concentrated one, he can use up to, 75% of, one for all. And, All Might was only able to use 80% of one for all. You need to remember that. So now Izuku is almost, I would say, even, yeah, as strong as All Might now. Because, his taking it made him, made the quirk 10% more stronger, or 20%, let's just say, 20%. So yeah, he's more stronger than All Might, and his body is also a lot more durable, so he didn't have to be, all that buff like All Might. So he's also quite a lot more flexible as well. And since he's not that buff, he's also a lot more faster because his natural speed, got added with, the speed with you gain from one for all. Because naturally, Wonder Woman was easily able to, uh, see bullets. So yeah, Izuku is fast. You can't even see Izuku move at all. So yeah, pretty much every girl, in the class 1A has a crush on him, and several the other class who sees other class girls who sees him, in lunch and so forth. Mainama hates Izuku a lot because he gets more attention than him, and he doesn't even do anything to gain the attention, he gets. And so Izuku pretty much, sits there and rests. And then All Might comes and says, "We're doing hero versus villain." And so hero versus villain happens. The teams are the same. Pretty much, I'm gonna cut it short. Everything goes the same except for, Izuku and, Katsuki's. As soon as they start, Izuku did, wait to, make a plan with the Roka. Izuku just flew up, looked at the bomb, on which floor it was. Izuku just bust through the window, touched the bomb, and all of them went. Everyone was kind of, mainly Katsuki was angry because Izuku didn't fought him. Katsuki got angry and he pretty much, used explosions to run towards, Izuku to pretty much hit him. Izuku just, put his hand forward and flicked Katsuki, and it created a shockwave so enormous it threw Ida, who was pretty far away from them, into the wall, knocking him out. And well, Katsuki is out of it. He won't be waking up anytime soon. And he did that just with a flick, not even throwing a punch. He just flicked it. And this shocked everyone. His power is great. And because now he can, do a flick and he doesn't even break any arms because he can naturally use 55% now because he's, as I said, he constantly trains. He wants to be the strongest. So yeah, he can now naturally, as I said, use 55% of one for all naturally. And All Might did ask Izuku that how much you can use now. Izuku says 55%. All Might says, weren't you able to use 70%? Izuku says, oh, well, I can still use, I can use 75%, but I have to focus. Without focusing naturally, I can use 55%. All Might would get it because All Might can't even use more than 80% even while focusing because it does too much damage on his body because he All Might didn't have actual quirk. And so yeah, and so now I'm gonna tell you about the second person, you know the person who gave the quirk to Nana Shimura. His quirk was called Regen. It just basically granted him higher regeneration. No, as strong as the Nomu's regeneration. Not as strong, but he was able to regenerate his arm that was if it was cut off. So yeah, it was pretty strong regeneration quirk. So now Izuku also has the regeneration quirk, but he didn't know that because he didn't got injured at all. And so then but since the regeneration quirk was in one for all for so long about and two people, so the regeneration quirk is a lot more stronger, as strong as the high-end Nomu. If you have read the manga, you will know what the high-end Nomu is. That kind of regeneration, I would say, even a little bit more faster, just a little bit more. So yeah, and so then they get the chance to do what's it called, rescue arc happens, the way they go to rescue mission. And so before that, Izuku and Momo gets as elected as class president. When the lunch thing happens, Izuku kind of pretty much clapped, made a shockwave, and told everyone that it was only uh, the press, because Izuku flew up to see what was happening. When Izuku flew, Monoma saw this and he says, does he only have a flight cook? Why does he gets all the attention? Then when Izuku made the clap, it was so strong it created shockwaves. Monoma thinks, does he have wind quirk or something as well? Monoma is thinking what kind of quirk he has, because if that quirk is that strong, if he took it, he doesn't have to take any other quirks and something like that. And so that happens. So yeah. Then while they're leaving for the bus, Izuku is talking to Momo and Shoto, because Shoto is a female in this one. And so yeah, All Might is not with them because All Might is still injured, so he prefers to save as much time as he can, because he knows that One for All will come. He can kind of feel him, just like how Izuku was able to feel Shigaraki. All Might can feel All for One, and One for All can feel All Might, and now One for All can feel Izuku. So yeah, then when all of them are talking, Froggy, the frog girl, I've completely forgot her name. I'm pretty sure I won't be ever remembering her name. So yeah, she still asks about Izuku's quirk. Izuku says, I was born with it. It's called super. It grants me superhuman strength and speed. But in the 10th month training, my quirk mutated and became much more powerful. So yeah, so it's really hard to hold back. What Katsuki was kind of scared of it, because when they were in the school, Izuku was able to hold back and threw him that far. Now his quirk has gotten even more powerful, and now he can't even hold back. So yeah, he doesn't want to go get hit by Izuku at all. And so there goes in. Everyone is looking at 13. Villains show up. Koroshima says, "Oh, they are even villains to fight." Aizawa says, "These are not, the fake villains. Those are real villains." So yeah, that happens. As soon as that happens, Korogiri opens up the portal. Everyone goes down, including Izuku itself, because Izuku was, pretty much thinking of something else. But yeah, Izuku still falls in the water. But before he can fall, Izuku starts to fly. He sees, the frog girl and Mineta. Bubble fuck. Ah. And so Izuku pretty much, flies towards them and tells them to hold on. Izuku sees villains down. He just, puts his fist back and throws it forward, makes much more bigger, you know, typhoon what he made, in the original, and all the villains are gone now. Izuku, before the Nomu can even touch Aizawa, Izuku pretty much flew down, throw Minata and mm, Suyu down in the shallow water and flew towards the Nomu and punched the Nomu, and Nomu flew back, a lot back. And there was even a hole in the Nomu's chest. Shigaraki saying this instantaneously, looked at, Korogiri nodded, and there were 5 other Nomus. Because One for All is making sure that, he's a lot more. All for One is pretty much, making sure that he can, be more powerful. So he made more Nomus, and Shigaraki is much more different in this one. Shigaraki is not, a kid anymore. He's trained. Pretty much all for One put Shigaraki through harsh training, doing physical training, mental training, making him more powerful, doing push-ups, sit-ups, squats. So Shigaraki is ripped. I mean, ripped. And Shigaraki knows, martial arts, taekwondo, knows how to actually fight. His quirk is already as strong as what it was at every arc where they fought overhaul, and so it's already that strong. So Shigaraki never put too much focus in making sure his quirk is stronger, and basically make sure his body is a lot more stronger, and this will come in handy later. And Shigaraki already has one regeneration quirk from All for One, because All for One wanted Shigaraki to be as strong as he can be, and if he's gonna do physical training, he needs to have a regeneration quirk, so he can regenerate his muscles faster, so he can grow stronger faster. So yeah, and Shigaraki is quite strong, a lot more powerful, not a kid anymore. So yeah, Shigaraki is thousands of times more dangerous than anything now. And so yeah, pretty much Shigaraki comes and touches Izuku's arm, and Izuku wasn't looking. Shigaraki pretty much was about to punch Izuku. Izuku blocked it, knowing that he wanted him to block. As soon as Shigaraki's all touched Izuku, Izuku's arm started to deteriorate. Izuku instantly realized that he effed up, and Sarah, the all the class was watching it in horror, including Suyu, Minata, Shoto, and Mom, because they were out, they were watching. And so before the decay can get close to his shoulder, Izuku grabbed his arm and ripped it off. And this shocked everyone. Villains were shocked and terrified because he didn't hesitate it. And then his arm started to heal. It healed, and now Izuku's arm was, rebuilt. Izuku looked at, Shigaraki with death glare, like, "You're gonna die, boy," and he vanished. In a second, Shigaraki had a hole in his stomach, was gone. Shigaraki coughed out blood. In an instant, Korogiri came, teleported Shigaraki out of there, because he realized that one was dangerous, because you would be shocked, fear, and everything would be going through your head. Aizawa was also shocked, because he didn't even hesitate to rip his own arm off. Even if he can regenerate it, that's too much. Izuku says, okay, I have regeneration. I never knew that. Aizawa is shocked, like, what do you mean you didn't know you had regeneration? Izuku says, nope. So why did you rip your arm off? Izuku says, oh, it was better to be, turned to dust than, just have one arm. And this shocked Aizawa and the older, UA kids who could listen to their chords because he didn't care he ripped his arm off even if it couldn't heal. He didn't care about that. He just cared about destruction and chaos. That scratch that destruction and chaos part. I was thinking of something else. And by mistake I said that. And so then Izuku looks at other villains and their villains are terrified of him. Because villain also heard that he didn't knew he could regenerate a limb as well. And then Izuku, puts his left hand, uh, puts his left hand, at right side, completely opposite, but his left shoulder, and he's touching his right shoulder with his hand. So you get the gist. And Izuku just swings his arm, creating a shock wave and wind that pretty much destroyed all the villains are out. Then All Might and others came. All Might looked at Izuku and says, okay, why is his shirt, torn from her arm? All Might comes down and asks Izuku, oh yeah, one of them has a disintegration cloak. He was about to disintegrate my arm. I pretty much ripped my arm off to make sure I don't get disintegrated. This shocked All Might as well because he, as I said, he didn't hesitate to even speak of it. Like, yeah, it's usual for me ripping my arms and legs off. Yeah, you get the gist. So they have, 2 weeks off for the sports festival. In the 2 weeks, Shoto, Momo, and Suyu and Oraka comes to Izuku's home, and Izuku was napping. His mother just let them in because she's kind of used to girls coming to Izuku's home because Izuku was quite hot, no homo. So yeah, he knows he won't do anything. He just talks with them. And she just tells them to go into that room at the last one. All of them would go, and Izuku was sleeping, unknowing to even his mother. When all of them got in, closed the door, Izuku stood up and he was shirtless, and all of them almost had a nosebleed because he's chiseled. Izuku, oh hey guys, what's up? Then all four of them sits down. Then Izuku says, like what you say. All of them gets complete red, all four of them. Izuku puts on a shirt that he has close to his bed all the time. And so Izuku talks with Momo, Shoto, and Oraka that all four of us likes you. Which one of us do you like, or whatever? It says, oh, it's simple, really. All four of you can be with me. I don't mind at all. They're like, what do you mean? Izuku would tell them more about his core claw, like how it also extends his lifespan. He can live for over 1,000 years. So yeah, it's quite normal for me. And then it hit all four of them why he was easily able to rip his arm off, because to him, someone whose mind was naturally prepared because of his quirk that he will be living for over 1,000 years, of course he won't care about his arm. It's just an arm. So yeah. And so it became all five of them made official that Izuku is dating Suyu, Oraka, Shoto, and Momo. Before they can go, Izuku pretty much kisses all four of them on the lips, French kiss, of course, not on the cheek like a baby kiss, a French kiss. All four of them have a actual nosebleed now, and they run off. Izuku's mother looks at Izuku with narrowing her eye in a pretty weird way. What was that, Izuku? Oh, I just made 4 girlfriends. And his mom is now on the floor. You know how animal people in anime people pause whenever they are shocked. Yeah, that happens. She says, not 1, not 2, but 4. She just doesn't even care anymore because she's used to having about 5 to 6 girls in Izuku's room all the time, because all the girls from his previous class would come of his previous school to chat with him. Sometimes Izuku would make out with them. So yeah, she's quite used to him being a playboy. And so that happens. Yeah. And now I'm hungry. Shit. Hmm. Should I? Yeah, I'm gonna end this video here. I'm starving. I need to eat something or I'll die. Yeah, like and subscribe. And tomorrow I'll, start doing everything right once again because I need to find the register and watch anime once again. Damanchi, My Hero. I won't be watching Naruto because I already know everything about Naruto. I just don't know where the I know where I left off because I did watch the ending of it, but I don't know what thing I have done. In but if Naruto was half Senju and half Uchiha, I need to watch my own videos again to know what I did. From now on, I'm gonna won't post any other series until I finish one. Yeah, this will be much better. Otherwise, it's quite confusing to keep track of all the series. Yeah. Uh, yeah. Like and subscribe. Bye.